What's up? Got a good one for y'all today. This is an intro to Kerrigan in Nexus Wars One Lane Glitchless. Um, Stay tuned a little bit later in the video for a breakdown of how to Kerrigan harass and Kerrigan snipe. Kerrigan is a lot less effective once the wave comes up the ramp and is allowed to spread out because their primary attack is their storm ability, which is good on clumped units. Our team is struggling here because we have an unusual composition for the beginning of the game, and because Orange took 35 minutes to make his first hero. But once that second Kerrigan comes out, it's a whole lot easier to control a lot of games. Given the choice, I'm always looking for as many units clumped together as I can throw a storm on. Other things to consider are, is your composition not handling certain units well, and do you need to use storm to control those units? Such as, do you have enough anti-air or do you have to control them with your storm? Once you get about 2 or 3 Kerrigans, you can pretty much control the entire wave with the exception of Ultra or Tempest. And in an ideal world, you have an Odin helping you control the Tempest from afar. Keep in mind that only 2 Kerrigan storms can stack at any given time, so you never want to cast 3 in the same spot. Spread them out a little bit. Kerrigan does not take damage well to begin with, but you especially want to avoid a Nova wave because that will basically insta-kill any Kerrigan. I am going to successfully snipe this team later because not only is this guy not making all Nova, he's making Spec, but he did not place them in the right spot. Had he placed them next to the Nexus along with several cannons, there's a chance that I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm going to do. Kerrigan are very fragile to begin with, but they will die almost instantly to a Stukov, Zeratul, Phoenix, or Archangel. So this situation right here is extremely dangerous, and you need to run. You need to run in advance when you see something like this coming. You need to constantly be scanning ahead to see what they're doing and then running away if they're headed your direction. Throw your storm and run away. So about Phoenix versus Kerrigan. Unfortunately, the Phoenix is very overpowered right now, and it also runs faster than a Kerrigan. So if you're trying to get away, you have to burrow your Kerrigan and deep tunnel away from the Phoenix. And this is so difficult to do. I only know of one example of it, and it was during a tournament match. So here's Perseus getting attacked by some Phoenix in like half a second. There he goes. They're spinning on him. He burrowed, and then he barely made it out of there alive. Phoenix are so overpowered right now that if you don't have a Zeratul helping you out, your entire team's heroes are going to be gimped. So now I'm going to show you an example of a Kerrigan snipe. It's a little early, just a little bit early, because if this fails, the other team has enough time to make it to our base and kill us, but we're going to try it anyway. So my friend here, he went in first, and I don't want to be standing next to him when he gets nuked. So I have burrowed over here. I messed up a little and have to re-burrow, and I am waiting for him to get nuked. He got nuked, and now I'm waiting for the Nexus to clear. Once the Nexus is clear, I jump in and start attacking. I should have thrown up a point drone defense, and I thought I did, but I must have messed that up somewhere. But we're able to kill the Nexus anyway, and it's GG's. Now we're going to go over Kerrigan harassing and Kerrigan snipe. This is easily one of the most important skills and will win you so many more games once you figure it out. Here I have burrowed 4 Kerrigans, and while they are burrowed, you need to learn how to deep tunnel them, which means they move a certain distance completely undetected and instantly. So if you do them slowly, if you try to move them slowly while you have them all selected, it's only going to do one at a time. So now we're going to try again, but instead of deep tunneling slowly, I'm going to do it very fast, and it moves all of them at that point instead of one at a time. Also, I am holding shift when I do this. If I don't hold shift, it just moves one unit. However, some other players, and I couldn't tell you why, they are able to do this without holding shift. It may be some option in their settings. I added this clip after editing because this confuses a lot of new players. So I forgot to mention that while you're deep tunneled, when you're clicking fast, you're pressing D. So you're holding shift and you're pressing D very fast. I have 4 Kerrigans here, so I'm pressing D 4 times. If you do it 5 times, you might move one of them twice and waste energy. Before somebody mentions it, I just want to point out that these last 2 Kerrigans stopped following me because they ran out of energy. Right there, I'm still deep tunneling, and these kept going, but these guys down here ran out of energy. So make sure you have plenty before you get started on a long deep tunnel. If it's not already obvious to you, let me show you how this is useful. So here I am burrowing outside of the nuke range. Then I scan ahead a couple of times, and I can quickly bounce right over to the Nexus undetected. When you pop up in a building like this, it will automatically make you unburrow. So you need to either reburrow right away or start attacking what your intended target is, which in this case is the Nexus. Up until now, all the examples I've shown you when I deep tunnel are quickly clicking in the same spot. But just to be thorough, I'm going to mention that the best player in the world, when he deep tunnels, he spreads them out. And I don't know what the advantage is to that, but maybe you can figure it out. So here I have scanned ahead again, and he spreads out the deep tunnel. He spreads them out. And then here I pop back up in the Nexus. But since I haven't selected the Nexus, it just starts randomly attacking the first building that it looks at. Now I'm just going to show another example of when you deep tunnel into any building or any unit, it is going to automatically unburrow you. See, right, I am not unburrowing this unit. I'm deep tunneling and it's automatically making me unburrow. One more time for good measure. Okay, now I'm going to deep tunnel into a unit. And I did not unburrow, but since I had selected that unit or the unit walked by right as I was deep tunneling, it automatically unburrowed me. Let's watch again. So they didn't even pop up on top of that unit, but since I clicked on that unit when I burrowed, even though he walked past, it made me unburrow. This is a huge pain in the butt when some unit flies over right as you're trying to sneak into somebody's base. If you have full energy and can gauge it perfectly, you can deep tunnel across the entire map. I'm actually not very good at gauging how far I can jump in one move, so I will half-ass show you now. But I will scan ahead like usual and then start jumping. So there's 1 jump, 2 jumps, and 3 jumps. The mouse cursor actually will change when you're trying to deep tunnel outside of the range, but I'm usually in such a hurry after the first jump that I'm trying to get the next several jumps in to get to a safe spot that I don't notice the mouse cursor changing. But if you ever did take the time to find the edge of how far you can deep tunnel, you could go from this spot right here, bounce a few times, all the way to the Nexus. Kerrigan harassing is when you take 1 or 2 of your Kerrigans and deep burrow them into the other team's base. I've been doing it so much to these guys they threw up a cannon over here, but I'm just looking for the most effective spot I can jump to for some easy targets that will also maybe change the course of the game. The Archangels show up, I just run from them, a deep tunnel, wait for the Archangels to leave, and then a deep tunnel right back in. And so I am totally distracting them from helping with the wave so my team can push, and I'm taking out Scourge buildings. Some of my favorite buildings to target are the Vipers or the Cores, and if it's early enough in the game, pylons. However, the later the game gets, in my opinion, it's better to attack buildings rather than pylons because there's diminishing returns on I mean you've already got all your upgrades and most of your heroes and there's just diminishing returns on your pylon. You don't want to take more than 2 Kerrigans into their base though because then you're more likely to get nuked. And you'll notice from time to time me or somebody else is going to throw up a point drone defense. These help against all projectile attacks. So it's not going to stop the Archangel, but it will stop some of the other units. I'm never going to be able to find footage of what I'm about to say, so I'm just going to say it. But the point drone defense also stops the projectile attack from the Kerrigan. So if the enemy team has casted a point drone defense, like while you're harassing like this, for example, um, you can no longer ranged attack. The only thing you can do is either walk up into melee range or to cast Storm on the point drone defense to kill it so you can start attacking again. On the subject of using Storm while you're Kerrigan harassing, in my opinion, you don't want to use Storm unless you have to because you want to save as much energy as possible so you can bounce around when you need to. Earlier, when I was dodging Archangels, I wouldn't have been able to do that if I ran out of energy from casting too many storms. So I basically don't cast Storm at all unless absolutely necessary. Okay, well, I did find some footage of me using Storm to take down a point drone defense so I could continue attacking, and it just happened to be 10 minutes later in this game. And I also brought in 3 Kerrigans because at this point I'm just daring him to nuke me. But here in a second, they're going to throw up a point drone defense, and then I'm going to throw a Storm on top of it. So right now I can't attack anymore. It takes me a second to realize that. I'm not doing anything. And then I throw up a Storm, and the point drone defense dies. I can begin attacking again. Here's another example of someone going in for a snipe. He burrows outside of nuke range, sneaks into the corner here, making his way over to the Nexus, and flashes. He knows this is coming, and he's just waiting with 4 Odins. It takes a while to get point drone defense up, and it is right there. And he almost takes the Nexus down, and he does draw a nuke. Okay, slight correction. Before he deep tunneled in, he led with the point drone defense. So everything around here focus fired on that. And that's why it didn't work out as intended when he finally did deep tunnel in. And he had to wait for the timer to respawn. So now the Nexus is almost dead. And this absolute Chad takes control of my Kerrigan, walks him over there, and does the same thing again. So he's trying to do this in a stealth position. So he burrows outside of where he think they can see and makes his way over again. And they're either going to nuke or they're going to lose. Okay, let's watch some clips of the map editor doing some Kerrigan harassing. You'll notice the wave is way back here, but he's in the back of the base attacking the cores. Now he's attacking a dingle, destroying their detection, and really just going after anything he can get to easily with minimal amount of resistance. Here comes an Odin, so he's going to burrow and deep tunnel away. Odin's not looking, so he comes back and starts harassing some more. Honestly, I don't know why he's going after the upgrade buildings, but he is a total distraction, so that's something. He's back at it again, this time on the other side. Let's see what he's up to. That was poor timing because the Tempest just spawned. Let's see if he throws. Oh, he's got a point drone defense up, so the Tempest can't actually hit him. And he just killed a 900 pylon. Now he's sitting down here in the corner and scanning around looking for his next target. He pops back in, back up to the pylons again, and he's going for another 900 pylon. Throws up a point drone defense so that some of the units can't attack him. And then he pops back out again. So here he is going again. This is a lot of fun. Y'all should try it, by the way. Preferably not in a game with me, though. He jumps probably right past this cannon, I would imagine. Oh, yeah, he's back after the pylons again. This time he's going after a fully upgraded 1800 pylon. Oh, and he's out. He's back for some more. On the bottom this time, he's just going after some of the Scourge buildings. Just a complete menace to society. Going in again. Probably after them pylons. Yep. Anybody keeping track how many pylons he's killed so far? There goes one. Oh my god, is he going for two? In the same run? Yep, two. Back out. Now he's attacking the bottom. You never know where he's going to pop up. Oh, we're back after the pylons again. Oh no, get it. Awesome. He had to walk up right there because they casted a point drone defense, so he had to get in melee range to continue the attack. He did lose a Kerrigan, but something tells me that's not going to slow him down. If you're looking for a snowball's chance of deterring a Kerrigan from harassing your pylons like that, you want to build them close to the Nova as possible. This guy has the right idea about building the Nova next to the Nexus to try to prevent a Kerrigan snipe, but he's not actually making Nova. In these buildings, he's making spec. And also, he doesn't have anywhere near enough of them. And this pylon here, this is where classically everybody places theirs. And it's not a terrible spot, but the best spot, I think, is going to be somewhere in this general area so that there is maximum amount of time. See, the Nova are going to walk all this distance. And if you put your pylon somewhere in this general area, the Nova are within range of protecting you even when they walk way over here. And furthermore, you still have the added benefit of all the other units in this general area protecting your pylon if it's right dead center. Man, look at these guys. They built these pylons in the easiest place possible for Ropie to get to. I mean, what's protecting them? A few slow spawning Tempests and one cannon, all of which can be handled with one point drone defense. He could stand right here and the cannon couldn't hit him anyway. He just spotted that juicy target. It's like totally irresistible, something that out in the open and worth so much. Actually, at this point in the game, the pylons don't matter as much because you already have most of your upgrades. You already have most of your heroes. But it's just an insult to injury at this point. So Gorilla remade his pylon in a slightly better spot, exactly where I said it should be. But we still don't have enough Nova. Actually, we have 0 Nova. But even if these were all Nova, it's not enough. Look at this guy. He remakes the damn pylons in the same, I want to curse so bad, the same spot, thinking a couple cannons are going to protect him. And Ropie's like, F yo cannon. So naturally, he's going back in again. This time he goes for the harder to reach 1800 pylon. And he might be doing it because it's the 1800 pylon, or maybe it's because he's messing with Gil, their friends, White Gorilla and Ropie. Totally unnecessary at this point, just for sport. I hope he goes for those pylons. Oh, we're going to clear up that cannon first, just for funsies. Got our point drone defense up. Another pylon down. He doesn't even bother upgrading them at this point. Oh! Oh, finally nukes him. So Ropes is down to his last Kerrigan. Is he going to play more conservatively? No. No, of course he's not. He's going back in to finish the job. So predictable. Exact same spot. Easy target. Oh my god, he has to run from that. Can you believe this guy remade his pylons in the same spot? Somebody comment below if you know what the definition of insanity is. He just spotted that juicy target again. What's his move? What's going to be the play? Is he focused on the win here, or is he going for more pylons? What am I saying? Of course he's going for more pylons. So they just cast the point drone defense. He had to walk up into melee range. He's got to run from that, though. Run, mother trucker! Run, mother trucker! So he scans again, makes sure it's clear. And of course we're going for the pylons, because this is some kind of world record. I don't know what we're up to, but it's definitely double digits. He's probably in cahoots with green. He's making it too easy. Oh, they just threw up a point drone defense, so he walks up into melee range. Got to run from that Phoenix. Match is almost over, and we are currently at 17 pylons down. Can we make it 18? I don't know. It's going to be close. I'm guessing no. Thanks for watching.